All right, DPS third graders. So today we are going to do a pollution and conservation review. So let's start with what is pollution? Pollution happens when the environment is contaminated or dirtied by waste, chemicals, and other harmful substances. There are three main forms of pollution: air, water, and land. So first let's go in and talk about waste. What is waste? Waste or wastes are unwanted or unused materials. Waste is any substance which is discarded after primary use or is worthless, defective, and of no use. Waste is often also called trash, garbage, or junk. It can be solid, liquid, or gas, or it can be waste heat. There are many different kinds of waste. Garbage is the waste we produce daily in our homes, including old or unwanted food, chemical substances, paper, broken furniture, used containers, and other things. The first pollution that we're going to review is land pollution. So what is land pollution? Land pollution is anything that damages or contaminates the land. There are many causes of land pollution, from the trash that we throw away in our homes to waste produced at giant factories. There are 5 different types of land pollution, 1 being agricultural land pollution, 2 non-biodegradable solid waste, 3 industrial waste, and 4 deforestation, 5 mining. Although there are different types of land pollution, the effects of land pollution are more than likely the same. Land pollution touches every area of the living world, including water that isn't safe to drink, polluted soil, which leads to a loss of fertile land for agriculture, climate change, which can cause flash floods and irregular rainfalls, the endangerment and extinction of species and wildlife, habitat shifting, where some animals are forced to flee where they live in order to survive, and an increase in wildfires due to polluted areas often becoming very dry. So how do we prevent land pollution? We can use fewer pesticides and chemicals in agriculture. We can participate in reforestation, and we can reduce, reuse, and recycle. So now let's move into water pollution. What is water pollution? Water pollution is when waste, chemicals, and other particles cause a body of water, rivers, oceans, lakes, to become harmful to the fish and the animals that need water to survive. Water pollution can disrupt and negatively impact nature's water cycle as well. So there are different causes of water pollution, just like what we talked about with land pollution. Number 1 are natural causes. So for example, we have acid rain. And number 2, we have human causes, so littering and oil spills. Just a reminder that natural causes, sometimes water pollution can occur through natural causes like volcanoes, algae blooms, animal waste, and silt from storms and floods. Human causes. A lot of water pollution comes from human activity. Some human causes include sewage, pesticides and fertilizers from farms, waste water and chemicals from factories, silt from construction sites, and trash from people litter. So now let's focus on the effects of water pollution. Water pollution can have disastrous effects on the environment. So the first one we're going to look at is pollution in the water can reach a point where there isn't enough oxygen in the water for fish to breathe. The fish can actually suffocate. The second one we're going to look at is pollution can affect the food chain. Small fish absorb pollutants, such as chemicals, into their bodies, and then bigger fish eat the smaller fish and get the pollutants too. And birds and other animals eat those bigger fish, and they can also be harmed by the pollutants. So as you can see, it creates a food chain. The next one we're going to talk about is sewage. So sewage can also cause major problems in rivers. Bacteria in the water will use oxygen to break down the sewage. If there's too much sewage, the bacteria could use up so much oxygen that there won't be enough left for fish. And the last one, we have water pollution from major events like acid rain or oil spills can completely destroy marine habitats. So how do we prevent water pollution? So the number 1 thing that we can do to prevent water pollution is to save water. Fresh and clean water is a precious resource, so don't waste it. Take shorter showers, ask your parents not to water the lawn, make sure the toilet isn't running, and don't leave the faucet running. The second one, don't use weed killer. Ask your parents if you can pull the weeds in the yard so that they don't need to use weed killer, which is an herbicide. The next one is scrape your plates clean into the trash and don't put grease into the kitchen drain. And the last one that we have is trash. Always pick up trash, especially when at the beach, lake, or river. The last type of pollution that we're going to look at is air pollution. So what is air pollution? Air pollution occurs when gases, dust particles, fumes, smoke, or odors are introduced into the atmosphere in a way that makes it harmful to humans, animals, and plants. Air pollution results in the air being dirty, so it's contaminated, unclean, and often it can be toxic. So there are different causes of air pollution. There are natural causes and human causes. So natural causes, although there are many, they are not common. So we have forest fires, volcanic eruptions, wind erosion, pollen dispersal, evaporation of organic compounds, and natural radioactivity. Human causes are really what's making a huge impact on air pollution. So the three most common human-caused forms of air pollution are emissions from industries and manufacturing activities, the burning of fossil fuels, and household and farming chemicals. The effects of air pollution. Air pollution and the release of gases into the atmosphere can have many negative effects on the environment. So the first one is global warming. So one type of air pollution is the addition of carbon dioxide gas into the air. And some scientists believe that releasing too much carbon dioxide into the atmosphere is one of the causes of global warming, and this upsets the balance of the carbon cycle. The second is the ozone layer. The ozone layer helps protect us from harmful rays from the sun. It is getting damaged from the air pollution, such as methane gas from livestock. And the third one, we have acid rain. Acid rain is created when gases get high into the atmosphere, and this rain can damage forests and kill fish. So the effects on air pollution can also make people sick. It can make it difficult to breathe and cause diseases such as lung cancer, respiratory infections, and even heart disease. According to the World Health Organization, 2.4 million people die each year from air pollution, and air pollution can be especially dangerous to children living in big cities with bad smog. So how can we prevent air pollution? We can first encourage your family to commute in less cars. If we all do this, there will be fewer cars on the road and fewer fumes will be produced. The second one is using energy, light, water, and firewoods wisely. Lots of fossil fuels are burned to generate electricity, so if we can cut down the use, we can also cut down on the amount of pollution we create. And the third is recycle and reuse things. Doing that will minimize the dependence on producing new things. Remember, manufacturing industries create a lot of pollution. So if we can reuse things like shopping plastic bags, clothing, paper, and bottles, it can help. So boys and girls, that was the review of our pollution and conservation unit. So next you will be taking a Illuminate assessment to just show what you know.